Flashback was sort of, I guess it's been about 2.5 or 3 years now, revival of interest in some oldies music, but it's moved beyond that now. I think it's more an expression of an interest in collecting interest. Anything goes as long as it's interesting and well done.
Flashback? Well, Flashback has been around for about 2 years. We've been established as a group, as a trio very recently this year.
What do you think about the oldies?
I like the oldies. I like the oldies because that was the beginnings of rock and roll as it is today.
Okay, how did you get to know the Flashbacks? How did you join?
My father, he came back one day and said there was this guy who was interested in starting some group, or had started some group, and was interested in talking to me about it. So I said, yeah, I might as well try this, and I talked to Victor, and we started a group. We started playing the oldies. I was slowly introduced to what the concept was, and then we started performing some gigs, and now it's really, really picking up. We're doing gigs much more often. And it's something to look forward to all the time, I mean, the practice time is always, that's always the long side of things, but there's a reward for everything you do.
Well, I've known Eddie as an individual for, I guess, not much more than about a year, through his father, who was the accountant for the St. Lambert Choral Society when I was the president of that particular organization, talking about classical music and so on. And I had, through his father, I heard some of heard about some of his abilities and his musical exploits and so on. And at the time when I was deciding to go back into pop music, decided to become involved with some competent individuals, and approached Eddie on that score, and it's worked out very, very well. We're able to get a very tight trio sound going, with him playing bass with his left hand and doing organ fills and whatnot with his right, and singing back vocals. These days you have to do everything, and he's very good at that. vocalists. We were at the University of Western Ontario, and it was 1964. And we did a number of cover tunes of, well, quite a melange of stuff, actually, which was sort of a representative sample of the repertoire that we had in the band. We had the distinction of being the first rock band in London, Ontario, which is a very conservative town. And we kind of shook things up a bit. We got a lot of work, and we made some money. And the local musicians guild absolutely hated us. They blacklisted us because we were putting the dance band players out of work. But the album we financed ourselves. But it was cover tunes. You know, it wasn't really an original band. It was we had a repertoire of other people's stuff for playing at parties and dances and whatnot.
And what was your position in the band?
I played guitar, and sometimes doubled on bass when the bass player sang lead ballads.
Bring my baby back to me. Bluebirds over the mountain.
The old rock and roll songs are something that have been commercialized to death. You know, sometimes they originally were successful and then have been redone during the various resurgences of popularity of oldies music. The fact that he gets right back to the original basics. If it's early Elvis, it's that original raw power that comes out, and it's not some sort of a glitzy, commercialized remake of this thing. It's more like a recreation of the original power of the old rock and roll.
I guess less than half my age, but it's an interesting situation because he had developed this great interest in early rock and roll, 50s music, and specifically the music of Elvis, which had been sort of a primary interest of mine during my teenage years. So it was as a result of that common interest, I guess, that we started to work to collaborate musically, and that's developed into something more than just 50s rock now. It's more of an eclectic approach, and so we have this great little band going now, which is lots of fun.
All right, hello, hi there. We're gonna do some rock and roll. Yeah. Let's rewind backward to 1956, okay? 1956 with this beautiful song called Blue Suede Shoes. You ready? Okay. That's one for the money, two for the show. Get ready now. Step in my blue suede shoes. When you do nothing, you're the blue suede shoes. Way down, step in my waist, step in my name, all over the place. Do the thing that you want to do. Honey, lay over my shoes and don't you step in my blue suede shoes. Way do the thing, lay over the blue suede shoes. Go play around.
In terms of romantic music, I have so many influences from different artists that ranges from Ed Ames, Tom Jones, Engelbert Humperdinck, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Tony Bennett, all the great crooners from the past, and some of them are still performing. For example, Engelbert Humperdinck is one of my greatest influences because he has a unique style of performing and showing his emotions when it comes to singing a song. He has an incredible voice.
I'm going to do an old Engelbert Humperdinck song. It's a romantic song that you're probably familiar of. Take it from an Italian song called Il Mondo. And here's the English version. beside me, stay beside me, say you'll never leave me. How I love you, how I love you, how I need you, please believe me. In your arms I found my heaven, and your lips held under boy. Il mondo, your love is all I need in my world. Tender kisses bleed in my world. How could I ever live without you? Il mondo, my heart belongs to you, so take it and promise me you'll never break it. Say you'll stay here in my heart.
What do you think about the group, the Flashback?
Oh, I think they're super. I think I would recommend them to any dance.
Flashback, you know, it's like flashback to the 60s, to the 70s, to the 50s, you know, back to Elvis, you know, and all them, those buddies there. And my friend, you could say he's an Elvis. He's the next Elvis, man. Very like, okay, thank you very much. You know, and so they're pretty good.
I think the group is really good. Their music is it's pretty awesome. It's a refreshing start, and that's all I can tell you. I really like it. It's awesome.
Flashback's a really cool band, man. Saw them do a show, really kick ass. Really wanted to see them again, so I'm wondering if they're doing a show. And they do a show, go see them. I recommend them.
I would like to see Flashback in the future. I would like to see some recognition, some success, maybe even a little bit of money. That surely would be nice to think about having some wealth to fall back on for retirement. But more than anything else, I would like to see the continued opportunity for artistic expression. I would like to see some original composition find its niche, something tasteful and meaningful, something that would last, like the stuff that we do now.
The night has been too lonely, and the road has been too long, and you think that love is only for the lucky and the strong. Just remember, in the winter, far beneath the bitter snows, lies the sea that with the sun's love in the spring becomes the rose. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I don't care how much money I gotta spend. Got to get back to my baby. Lonely days are gone. I'm a coming home. My baby just won't be.